Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Elimination Chamber 2013 review. Now this review, I was thinking about what I was feeling before the review, before I even saw Elimination Chamber, and I was thinking, I don't think this is going to be a very good Elimination Chamber. It's going to be average, it's going to be boring, we're going to have the same old crap. I was wrong. When I did finally see Elimination Chamber, and afterwards, and I had to do a second review of it just so I can get a really good perspective of what I saw the first time around, because I was pissed on some of it, surprised on other bits, and disappointed in others. And I needed to see this twice to really soak it in and just be objective on this review. Of course, I'm going to still have my feelings and thoughts on this, but I really needed to review this a second time just to soak in what the WWE did. I expected, and I've heard a couple of people expected, this was not going to be a great pay-per-view. It wasn't. I didn't think it was going to be. There wasn't much build on most of it. A lot of it seemed a bit sloppy, but the WWE surprised us. That's what you see in my title. Surprise. We just basically got a surprise. I haven't figured out what I'm going to say with the title. Whatever it is going to have surprise in it. But anyway, the pre-show, I'm going to get that done first. The pre-show, the problem I have with this is that they split Rhodes Scholars apart because they knew they weren't going to do anything with them. Now it's possible that the Gentle Giants, as they call them, they pretty much might be doing a hell no type of move, which is that's not really original. Of course, doing what they're doing now isn't original either. But you had an odd couple of a real small guy and a real huge guy. Now you got two big guys who are acting like good guys who are basic opposites as well as the first one. In a sense, it's a bite off of hell no. But there's nothing really wrong with it. What I believe was wrong was to have Rhodes Scholars come back so they can job to the Gentle Giants. Why? You couldn't have Primo and Epico come back out. You couldn't have the Primetime Players come out. You couldn't have, and I really don't want to mention them because I love them. The Usos. The Usos are a very legitimate tag team. You couldn't throw them out there. Why did it have to be the two very entertaining, the Mustachio and the intellectual savior of the masses, our gentlemen, our scholars, our Cody and Damien Sandow? You didn't need to job them, but you did, which was actually quite upsetting. These guys are now being pushed separately. At least that's what we thought. The Miz has already been used twice to try and help along an Antonio and Miz feud. And then Antonio, he was used basically to try and help Daniel Bryan or Kane or whatever. I don't really like it. These are two great talents and they're getting screwed and buried. That's how I feel. Like someone said something to Vince in the back, like maybe a Cody or Damien, maybe on Twitter, maybe on Facebook, or maybe they may have said something in passing that might have pissed off the brass. In other words, Vince might have gotten pissed off. I just don't know what it is, but they're getting buried here. Now, I'm just going to get this done because I really was quite disappointed. The CM Punk and Rock match at the end of the night. Look, you can say a lot about CM Punk. I know there's a lot of people that pretty much love CM Punk and goes crazy for CM Punk. Pretty much jerks off in their corner in their rooms for CM Punk. But the thing is, in this situation, not even CM Punk could save this match. No matter how much CM Punk worked this match, how much CM Punk tried his best with this match, and he tried something outside the box. He tried to rock bottom the Rock on a table and did pretty much a Randy Orton. Did not break the table. He didn't. That table went bang. The Rock went, ah! That must have been legitimate. That's something that he normally doesn't do. He doesn't always copy a move of somebody. And in this case, it did not work. Really didn't. So, The Rock really made a seriously big mistake. For the last 6 or 7 months, The Rock has been away. Then he comes back for Royal Rumble. People really look past the ring rust he had. We can understand it because we were so anxious for him to win the title. We wanted something different. I agree with the Sleg Daddy. We wanted to see someone who is from old school to win. For the simple fact, everyone in the GP era sucks. There's some really good people there, but they're not being pushed. They're not being structured. And it's boring. We wanted something to change the stuff up so we would have a better feel about this. And really, what we got with The Rock is what we wanted. But here's the problem. Having The Rock doesn't mean we had it the way we wanted. The Rock is still a star. The Rock is only doing a limited type of being viewed on Raw, SmackDown, and WWE entirely. He doesn't wrestle. And this is where I think the entire match fell apart. The Rock was so sloppy. He was. You can try and look past some of the sloppiness, but really, I couldn't. I mean, CM Punk tried his best, and then he went too far with it. Look, you're trying to get heel heat on somebody. Smacking someone in the face is one thing. No problem. But you saw CM Punk take a big wad of spit and threw it into The Rock's face. Now that was reaching a little too far. That means you were really desperate to get the people over on this. You needed to get a huge amount of heel heat on this match in the hopes to get The Rock to get a huge pop. And when The Rock came in, he didn't have a huge ovation. He didn't. He didn't have it in Louisiana. Didn't get it. And then after this, and at the end of the match, it got a little louder, but you cannot save this match. This was the weakest match of the night. And I like The Rock. I love The Rock. Look, even though I was away from wrestling for many years, until I came back in 2002, I still saw The Rock before he left. And I love The Rock. But this isn't Rock's best work. If The Rock had came back and done at least 2 matches in the last 6 to 8 months, more than just Royal Rumble Elimination Chamber, we would have a better Rock. He needs some ring rust. Excuse me. I'm sick. We need some ring rust removal on The Rock. It is that bad. If The Rock doesn't have a couple of more matches before from Royal Rumble into WrestleMania 29, we're going to have a serious problem. That means when the match goes down in... I'm not fond of seeing The Rock and Cena again. I'm not. But I was hoping for a better match than what I got today. And I don't think I'm going to get it. Because if The Rock does not get some work in on his in-ring work, he's sloppy. The Rock is sloppy. And if he does not go back into the ring, other than these 2 last matches where we think The Rock is going to leave after WrestleMania 29, if he does not at least get 1 or 2 more matches in, we are not going to get a good product. And it's going to be up to Cena to carry that match in WrestleMania 29. And I'm sorry. If Cena has to carry that match by himself, and he's not a CM Punk, you can say a lot about CM Punk compared to Cena. But CM Punk literally is a better worker. He is. I'm not saying that Cena couldn't be a better worker, but he has been structured not to be. He's been structured to be a Superman. He's not been structured to be like a Harley Race or a Ann Anderson or a Ric Flair. Hell, he's not even barely structured as an Ultimate Warrior. You can't expect a Cena to carry a match with The Rock if The Rock is showing really bad ring rust in between every match he does. This is bad. And I'm going to leave it at that. Now, the thing that I believe was the best match of the night, singles, was the U.S. Championship, Antonio versus The Miz. That was some good storytelling right there, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I loved it. I loved seeing The Miz having to rise to adversity. You can hear commentary in that match particularly was the best commentary of the night. I know some people say, man, it wasn't that great. It was. Because they were trying to put over Antonio and bring up The Miz as an underdog. Still saying that he is a basically a reality show wannabe that's trying to rise above it, showing that he's injured. The Miz sold his injury pretty good, and then we didn't get a clear winner. We got a whack in the nads. Yes! Yes, Antonio kicking the Miz in the leg, and Antonio getting a whack in the nads. Go, ugh! He go, ugh! That was epic storytelling right there. That made me happy. I felt that one of the best matches of the night was going to be the U.S. Championship, and I was not disappointed. For the simple fact it wasn't that there was a clear winner. No. It was the fact that they did a good story in the beginning, in the middle, and at the end there was a controversy that's going to keep the entire feud going in a way that's unlike normal. You expected maybe been a count out or disqualification, but a disqualification by accident? Seriously, that's better than what we normally get. Yes, I was happy about this shit. I enjoyed it. That was, for me, the match of the night. But it was not the what the fuck of the night. And I'm getting this done now. I might actually put this in my title. I'm thinking the Elimination Chamber. We got more than what we expected. That's one. I might put that in. Or full of surprises. That's another. This one I'm thinking the Trucker won. What the fuck? This was the most surprising of the night. What did we get in the beginning? We got Daniel Bryan and we got Jericho opening again. I mean, we saw Daniel Bryan and Jericho together. That was supposed to be a pay-per-view match, and we got one. They fought one another until the Trucker, Jack Swagger, with Zed Copeland. Copeland. Yeah, Kofer. Sorry, I'm pronouncing his name. I think Coulter, whatever the guy's name. Zebediah, I don't care. The grizzled beard, trucking, 30-year-old man. 30-year driving a truck on. We got a big load here. We got a convoy. Come on and join me. Have you ever seen the movie Convoy from the 70s? That is the type of guy you would see. Pot-bellied, look like he's smoking a cigar while he's on the CB radio. That's what Zed Coper looks like. That's what he looks like, and that's what we got with the real American Jack Swagger, the Trucker. He was the third person in. He didn't do that badly. He still got tanked beyond recognition. Then who do we get? We got Kane coming in, but we didn't get much conflict between Kane and Daniel Bryan. Yes, there was a yes and no, but it was not much there. By the time we got Mark Henry, the strongest man to ever live, kicking everybody's ass and knocking out Kane and Daniel Bryan, that wasn't bad. I thought that they were pushing Mark Henry, and I was going to be happy about it. Smoking, my boy, I'm so sorry our man did not win, but it does not mean it's over. Remember, Mark Henry could still headline WrestleMania by doing a triple threat with a Jack Swagger, ADon himself. He can still squeak his ass into that match. So don't worry, we could still have a Mark Henry title reign through 2013, baby. But that, sorry. Look, when he eliminated Daniel Bryan and Kane, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. At one point, I thought maybe that the way things were being done with Randy Orton, when he got knocked through the Lexan container or chamber, he got knocked through that sucker. He looked like he actually cut himself a little bit. I thought maybe he might be the winner. But then when you saw Swagger and Jericho teaming up to try and get rid of Mark Henry, and that kind of made me think, wouldn't it be interesting to see a Jericho and Swagger match as a team? I'm not thinking it'll be good, but some reason they might actually work together for some reason. That was went through my head at that moment. I'm not thinking that now, but at that moment, that's what I was thinking. And then when all three of them ganged up on Mark Henry and eliminated him, and then Mark Henry House of Pain slammed them all. He gave them the House of Pain, baby. He showed them, you fucked me over, I'm gonna kick your ass. And that's what he did. He kicked all three of his asses, and Booker T had to beg him to come out of that match. come out of that Elimination Chamber. And he almost looked like he was gonna, I thought he was gonna power slam him into the grating. I'm talking about Booker T. I thought he was that close to doing it. I would have been interested in seeing that. But taking away from that, when we had Mr. RKO win over Jericho, and then Jericho getting taken out, and then as he being taken out, who do we get to win? It wasn't our wonderful baby oil, one who just loves the sleep tattoos. It was the trucker, Jack Swagger. I said, what the fuck? I jumped out of off my bed, and I'm saying, what the fuck? I wasn't happy. I'm like, what the fuck? You seriously playing with me? What the fuck? That was the look on my face. I'm going, if anyone catches that look, I was dumbfounded that they would actually, and I should have realized from the very beginning, and I thought, oh damn, Swagger has new music. I should have realized when that happened. I said, oh, something screwy is about to happen. I should have realized that hint, but I didn't, because I really didn't have great expectations of this match. I thought maybe it might be Jericho, because I wouldn't mind having Jericho there against ADR. I really thought it was going to be Orton. I wasn't sure they're going to let the strongest man to ever live, Mark Henry, get it, because that's what I really thought. They weren't going to let him do it again. But Jack Swagger? Are you seriously kidding me? Whose ass did he had to kiss? Or what cock did he had to suck to get this? Now, I'm not really complaining as much as you think. I'm just shocked they let him have it. They're really pushing him. This is something that we didn't usually get. We never got a good push on Swagger. He was never done properly the first time when he won the World Championship. Now, in this case with Zebediah or Zed, and going by, I am a real American, I am a great American, using the Patriot ankle lock, something different. I still want him to change his ring attire. Just pink and black's not enough. I'm not asking for the red, white, and blue, ladies and gentlemen, like Kurt Angle, but I'm hoping they'll change his look even more. Let Zed continue talking for him, and then let's see what he can truly do. Maybe he may improve his ring work. Now, he ain't going to improve his ring work, and he ain't going to get any better in condition so he doesn't get tanked, but at least we're getting something different. Take it for that, ladies and gentlemen. If you're angry that Swagger won, I feel your pain. But see it in this respect, they're doing something different. We expected one of the three I mentioned, Jericho, Mr. Baby Oil, and the strongest man to ever live was going to maybe win. Maybe. I really thought that Bryan would win. And I kind of thought of Kane as well, but those two were like the real dark horses. The real thought of kind of remote was Mark Henry. Now, I'm moving on to the Dolph and Kofi match. There was no need for it. None. This was only about Biggie Langston. And I think they're going to try and make Biggie and Kofi face one another for a little while. Not saying that Biggie's not going to still be working with AJ and Dolph. But I really think it's time now. They feel that Biggie is ready. Biggie is to be presented on Raw. So that's the reason why Biggie had the opportunity to kick Kofi's ass. Kofi's not going to turn heel. I wish he did. I wish with everything in me he turned heel. Even if he can't do it right, I just want to see something different from him. All I've seen is the same thing from Kofi. I'm bored with Kofi, even though I do like him. He's very good. He's a great spot monkey. I don't mean it in that bad respect of monkey. Please, don't think that. But if you're going to see it for someone who jumps around, does a lot of high flying, he's it. We don't have John Morrison anymore. We don't see Ray. We don't see Sin Cara. We got Kofi. He's one of the best high flyers we got at the moment. So let's just hope that something comes out of Biggie. I don't know. I've seen him only talk maybe once or twice on the mic. He does seem to have some personality, but I'm not sure if he's going to get over. I'm hoping he does, but I don't know. The Tamina and Caitlyn match. Did we get something good? Tamina wearing a different ring attire, cuts on the side, showing some meat. Like I said before, Tamina's a good looking woman. Caitlyn's good looking. But that didn't save this match. There was no hype for it. And I wish to say that the WWE is making the most worst mistake they could ever make. They're putting the Divas on Raw Active. This is where they're stupid. You cannot put a group on a division on an app. When you put a group on an app, you ruin it. You ruin their division. Because the people who see this app, they may get exposure to it, but they think, oh, this is like nothing. This is throwaway. And that's what they're being treated as. A throwaway. You must have them on Raw. You must have them on SmackDown. If you can't have them on Raw much, you must primarily put them on SmackDown. If you don't, it's ruined. And that's how I feel about it. Caitlyn wins, but I didn't see anything great there. But you can say that they showed all the contenders that could possibly go after her. Funkadactyls, Cameron, and my lovely, my love, my all, my Naomi. I love the shit out of that woman. She's just gorgeous. And Cameron I do care for very much. I love her too, but not as much as my Naomi. Natalya was there. Layla L, beautiful Layla. Slug Daddy, when you put babies in that belly, just remember one thing. Remember to hold that belly tight. Because even with 100 babies in that belly and it gets ruined, someone may still want it. I'm 50 of them. But you know what I mean. And then Oksana. Those are the contenders. Do you think they're going to be seen? No. But that's what we got. Now, let me see here. Anything else? Really, the last thing I'm going to talk about is the Shield versus the All-Stars. This was really meant for two things with the All-Stars versus the Shield. One is to show Ryback, to get him over. No, three things. I'm so sorry, not two, three. One out of three. Number one, you have the Shield allowed to win at a pay-per-view because they didn't win before. Two, this was to get Ryback over. Three, this is to get Ryback and Cena having problems. That's what this entire thing was about. First, to get the Shield over because commentary for the Shield was very good. Next, the Antonio match and the Elimination Chamber. This was the best match of the night when it came with commentary. Two, when Ryback came in after Cena had his moment and also Sheamus had his moment, he was the one who had the job to Seth Rollins. That simply shows you something was about to happen because the person that was in the ring with him was Cena. And Cena's asking what the hell happened. So Cena and Ryback will probably have a brief little problem. Possibly. This is the way I'm seeing it. I could still be wrong, but that's the way it looked. So we'll find out this Raw tonight. So how do I rate this show? I'm saying a B-. I was going to make it a B, but then I think about the Rock match with... Look, the Rock and CM Punk match was not good. Rock had too much ring rust. And as much as I'm a Rock fan like everybody else, I can't look past what a man has not done. He's done promos, yes. He done a little bit of running around in the ring with CM Punk, yes, and got his kicked of his can of ass. Or his ass kicked. Kicked to the curb, or whatever you want to call it. But you can't get past how bad Rock's in-ring work is. He's still spending most of his time outside WWE doing whatever he does, doing appearances, doing radio appearances, doing his movies. He needs to get in the ring more than just once every pay-per-view. Seriously, it's not working. If he hasn't been practicing, he needs to go practice in OVW and get some ring work in. He can't just go straight into the ring after coming from somewhere. It's not working. For me personally, he needs to get in better shape. It was just plain sloppy. Maybe a few spots through there, but even CM Punk couldn't save this. And I'm not a huge CM Punk fan. I like CM Punk. But CM Punk is not a Harley Race. He is not a Ric Flair. He is not a Hulk Hogan. He can't make shit into lemonade. He can't. So I hope you enjoyed this Elimination Chamber 2013 review. Subscribe and comment to ZANE'S View. I will be getting my Raw review done as soon as possible. And I hope you do look at my debate of the week on the rebuilding of the Knockouts division. Part 2. I got one already done, but on part 2 you will hear about how I would make who a heel, who a face, who a manager heel, a manager face, and briefly talk about a possible storyline for a few of the divas that have been turned into knockouts. Have a good day, ladies and gentlemen.